Two out here in the bottom of the ninth inning for Alan Moy. Moy has had a double in 3 at-bats. He doubled in the 4th inning. He is grounded to third and bounced to short. So Gullich still at second base with 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Harry Cunningham to the plate. Curveball over for a strike. Good breaking pitch by DC. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Moy. Cunningham leans in to get his side from Humphries. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball back to the mound to Cunningham. He'll run it halfway. And the 5-game losing streak is over. As Moy bounces one back to the mound to retire Moy for the final out of the game in the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. And the Sports snap their 5-game losing streak. A 4-3 win here tonight over Fort Worth. Totals and highlights in 90 seconds on AM 1130 KWKH. The Sports are the ones that can celebrate tonight as they snap their 5-game losing streak with a 4-3 win over the Fort Worth Cats. And our Papa John Pizza player of the game for the Shreveport Sports, Mal Winters. He really bounced back from just a horrible outing that he had his last time out. And he goes 7 innings tonight, scattered pockets, and picks up his 5th win of the year. So Mal Winters is our Papa John Pizza player of the game. Elsewhere around the league tonight, Lincoln in the bottom of the 8th inning, leading St. Joe 3-1. Top of the 8th inning, St. Paul with a 4-2 lead over El Paso. The only 2 other games being played around the American Association. Second game of this 3-game series will unfold here tomorrow night, 7:05 game time. And our broadcast starting at 6:55 with a pregame. Daniel Welch will pitch for Shreveport tomorrow night. He'll be making his 4th start with a record of no wins and 1 loss. And Mario Ramos, a left-hander, 1-1, will pitch here tomorrow night for Fort Worth. That's going to do it for our broadcast tonight. Our thanks to Tyler, our producer at KWKH. Hope you'll join us tomorrow night, starting at 6:55 with a pregame first pitch at 7:05. Good news tonight. The score, Shreveport Sports 4, Fort Worth 3. I'm Dave Netz, bidding a very pleasant good evening from LaGray Field in Fort Worth, Texas. Good night, everybody. 2 balls, 1 strike on Alan Moy. So Carter in scoring visit. 1 away here in the 2nd inning. Fort Worth leading 4-0. Welch checks the runner to the plate. And a slider for a strike. And it evens it up to 2 balls, 2 strikes on Alan Moy. Moy, a .252 hitter this year. Right-handed hitting center fielder. Started out the year in High Desert in the Cal League. Punches it foul off the right side. And it stays 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tonight is the middle game of this 3-game series. Sports and Fort Worth will wrap up the 3-game series tomorrow night. It'll be the final time they play this year. Thursday off day for the Sports to back home on Friday. Field line 400 and 335 for the foul ball right field. The stretch by Welch, 2-1 pitch. Pitch hit toward right center field. Smith coming hard, and he cannot hold on to it. Made a diving attempt. It'll be a base hit and an RBI, and it's 2-0 Fort Worth. Smith came hard on it. Little blooper to right field. Made a dive, but just couldn't quite get there. So Miller drives in his 16th run of the year. Carter scoring from second base to make it a 2-0 lead for Fort Worth. And down to the top of the batting order, K.J. Hendricks, who was safe on an error in the first inning by second baseman Jack Joe Frion.
And he lifts one down the left field line. Pride on the run. It is a fair ball down in the corner. Headed towards the plate. Miller. He is in there scoring. And a second for the double is Henry. And it's 3-0. So Hendricks goes the opposite way. Doubles down in the left field corner. Miller scores from first base on the double by Hendricks. And if we sound a little different tonight, we've been got up this morning with a sore throat and a runny nose. Well, you want to hear that. But, kind of battling a summer cold, I guess. Down out of play to the right. Those are not fun at all. Colds are not fun at all, no matter what time of the year. But in summer, it seems like you can never get rid of them. Going in and out of air conditioning in the hot weather. Makes it for a miserable time. Go to first, and Robinson is back. Pride at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Austin Pride. Nobody out here in the third. The stretch by Ramos. And another foul out of play to the right side. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pride's number 9 hitter in the order for the Sport. Robinson got out here. The line drive
la cual cubrirá la faz de la tierra, de modo que no pueda verse la tierra. Y ahí busca.
See if what's lit, what's not lit. Check swing foul. Say strike 2. Looks like it's 3 balls, 2 strikes, but I'm not gonna bet the farm on it. When the sun goes down and gets some shadows on it, it's just hard to tell. Another foul, Bill Pride fouling off the pitches. He just keeps hanging tough at the plate. Robinson at the first. He let off here. Third with a base hit. Sports trail. Which side is making Ramos go off the pitches? Ready to work again. All right, now.
Se acercó en todo el país de Egipto.
Ramos spent some time in the big league. He appeared in 3 games with the Mets back in 2003. The Padres organization. Going bunt that's past the pitcher, and the second baseman, they're going to call. As interfered with the field. Position. Bob Flores talking with the third base umpire, Thomas Beecham. Now will go over to talk with first base umpire, Phil Smith. But I think the rule states that you have to, the fielder has to get an opportunity. Now somebody's been tossed out of the game, and I think it's Eddie Gerald. Eddie Gerald is the one who's been tossed out of the game, arguing with the first base umpire, Cale Smith. Wanted to talk to the first base umpire. The first base umpire wasn't really looking at Bob Flory. He was looking at Eddie Gerald. And Eddie must have said something to him that pushed the button the wrong way. Bob Flory trying to get an explanation on the play. But Eddie Gerald has been tossed out of this game here in the third inning. It'll go as an interference play. So Burns will get first base. Wright is the one who will be out. It'll go second baseman unassisted on the put out. Robinson has to go back to second base. Burns is at first. So that'll be a fielder's choice on an interference call. The ball was bunted over the pitcher's head by Burns. The second baseman coming in to field the ball, and Pride bumped into him. Now, whether they were both in the baseline, that I don't know. Jack Joffrion at the plate, and he lines one towards center field, and diving, a catch made by Foster for the second out. Foster with a diving catch in center field for the second out. And the runner's at the hold, and now there's 2 out for Chad Campbell. Campbell had a base hit in the first inning. So Eddie Gerald, first base coach, has been ejected from the game here in the third. Brian Cooksey is taking over coaching first. And Campbell pops it up. But it will be straight back into the play on top of the roof. Strike one, no balls, 1 strike on Campbell. No balls, 1 strike on Chad Campbell. Robertson at second base. Burns is at first with 2 outs. And a fastball away for ball 1. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So strictly a judgment play there. Whether the fielder had a chance to field the ball before Pride jumped into him. Hitting. Here's the ball hit the left center field coming hard. And this ball is going to be caught by Boyd. Almost popped out of his glove. But he grasps it the second time to make the catch for the final out here in the third inning. The fourth in the third. No runs, 1 hit. Left after 2.5. It's 4-3, Shreveport nothing. On AM 1130 KWK.
The golf club is still.
Adolfo was safe on an error in the first inning by Juan Ventura, the third baseman. That's allowed a run to score. Takes it outside for ball 2. 1 ball and no strike. Ball, no strike. On Carlos Adolfo. There's a ground ball from shortstop. Tag. Robinson spins and throws to first for the out. Over to third goes Melisi. So Adolfo is the first out of the inning. 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning for Kelly Gully. They grounded out to Robinson at shortstop in the first inning. Shreveport will now bring their infield in. A little over halfway, not quite to the edge of the grass. Welch will work from the full windup. And the breaking pitch caught the outside corner for strike 1 to Kelly Gully. Runner at third, Moritzi, with 1 out here at the bottom of the third inning. Fort Worth already leading 3-0. 0-1 delivery. Fastball, strike 2 call. Good live fastball by Welch. Gully's not real happy with that call as he walked away from home plate. Well, your station break. We'll get it to you as soon as we can here. No balls and 2 strikes on Gully.
from the windup, the pitch. This one all the way back to the screen, but holding at third base is Moritzi as Humphreys recovered quickly. Station identification. This is where you can hear Shreveport Sports Baseball.
KWKH Shreveport. For the latest sports scores of your favorite team, go to KWKHOnline.com.
Dave Ness from LaGray Field, Fort Worth, Texas. 1-2 pitch. This one's popped up off the right side. Bryant coming over, but it'll land out of play. And the bat slipped out of the hands of Kelly Gulledge all the way to the Shreveport third base dugout. So it's a ball and 2 strikes on Gulledge. We're in the bottom of the third inning with Fort Worth leading here 3-0. Have a runner at third, Moritzi, with 1 out. Infield in, and it's high and outside. That evens it up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Kelly Gulledge. He leads this Fort Worth Ball Club in home runs. He has 11 this year. Outfield slightly around to the left. Down low. Now it's going full to 3-2. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Kelly Gulledge. With 1 out, Moritzi at third. The wind and the pitch by Welch. High, ball 4. Gulledge walks. First walk given up by Welch. The runners at the corners, first and third. With 1 out for Chuck Carter, who singled and scored a run in the second inning. So Fort Worth with runners at first and third and 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Infield back at double play depth. And Carter takes the breaking pitch outside, ball 1, and Humphreys calls time, and he wants to go out and talk with the young right-hander Daniel Welch. Friday night, we'll have fireworks after the game, brought to you by your local Dodge dealer from the Sports Play host of the Coastal Bend Aviators at Fairgrounds Field. 7:05 game time on Friday night. Camouflage Sports Cap Night on Saturday night, brought to you by Budweiser. 7:05. Here's a fake to third and the look to first, nothing going. And then the homestand will conclude on Sunday afternoon at 2:05 against Coastal Bend. 3-game series with that homestand. 1 ball, no strikes on Carter. Fouling it out of play, first base side. And it evens it up at a ball and a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chuck Carter. Moritzi led off the inning with a double, moved to third on an infield out. Gulledge then walked, so first and third with 1 out. The stretch by Welch. 1-1 pitch. A ground ball toward shortstop. Big hop. Robinson to second, out there. Back to first. They do not get the double play. Had too many big hops in it. Had 2 high hoppers. Robinson had to wait for it to come down. They get the force at second on Gulledge. Moritzi scores from third. And it's now 4-0 Fort Worth. Carter is safe at first on the fielder's choice. And will get an RBI, his 37th of the year. And it'll bring up Jordan Foster. Foster lines one, caught by Robinson. Robinson went high in the air to spear a line drive that looked like it was headed to left center field. And the inning is over here in the third. 1 run scores for Fort Worth. They get 1 hit in the inning. No errors and 1 left. We have completed 3. It's Fort Worth 4, Shreveport nothing on AM 1130 KWKH.
Great way to spend a online.
Well, fans, don't forget the first ever Shreveport Sports Golf Tournament is coming up this Thursday. That's August the 9th. At Stonebridge Golf and Country Club in Bossier City. You still have time to sign up. Call the Sports Golfers at area 318-636-6555. You can sign up as an individual or on a 3-man team. Our totals through 3 innings. Fort Worth 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Shreveport
No runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. J.C. Smith will lead it off for Shreveport here in the 4th. Struck out swinging in the first inning. 1 of 3 strikeouts recorded by Ramos. Down low into the dirt for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Smith, to be followed by Humphreys and Bryant here in the top of the 4th inning. Smith coming into tonight's game, working on a 14-game hitting streak. Ground ball up the middle. Second baseman Hendricks to his right. Fields goes to first in time for the out. Nice play by Hendricks. Sliding on the ground to his right near the bag at second. Popped up and threw to first to get Smith for out number 1. 1 out for Justin Humphreys. Struck out swinging in the second inning. Humphreys, right-handed hitting first baseman. Interesting note today. I was looking at some things what the sports have done. Here's a foul back to the screen for strike 1. Sports have played 8 one-run games, have been involved in 8 one-run games over the last 10 games they have played. And 4-4 in those one-run games. Fly ball, center field. Foster coming in, under it. Makes the catch, 2 out. Two out here in the 4th inning. Just on this road trip alone, the Sports have been involved in 4 one-run games, 3 at Coastal Bend, and then last night with a 4-3 win here over Fort Worth. Tommy Bryant. Slide to center field in the second inning. Looks for the strike. White starting to come on here in right field in Fort Worth as we play in the bottom of the 4th inning. Now back onto the 3. A ball, 2 strikes. On a hot, humid night here in Fort Worth, Texas, with the wind blowing from out of the south. Popped up. Second baseman Hendricks calling for it. Outfield grass. Makes the catch, and that's all for Shreveport. In the 4th inning, down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Our score after 3.5, Fort Worth 4 and Shreveport nothing. On AM 1130 KWKH.
The golf club at Stone.
Moy will lead it off for Fort Worth. Moy, Miller, and then the top of the order, Hendricks against the right-hander, Daniel Welch. Moy, right-handed hitter, and takes it down and away for ball 1. Moy struck out swinging in the second inning. The lone strikeout recorded so far by the Shreveport right-hander, Daniel Welch. Swing and a miss. And it's a ball and a strike. Check other scores here in a minute. 1 ball, 1 strike on Moy. Swing and a miss, strike 2. First game of a doubleheader, top of the 7th inning. Pensacola leading Coastal Bend 4-2 at Robstown, Texas tonight. They're playing a twin bill. Down low for a ball, 2-2. Sioux City leading Lincoln 4-2, top of the 3rd. No report on the Sioux Falls St. Joe game at St. Joe. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Moy strikes out for the second time, and there's 1 out here in the 4th. So Welch has 2 strikeouts. Moy has been the victim both times. Adam Miller had a RBI single in the second inning. El Paso leading St. Paul 2-0, top of the 3rd. So that gets you up to date on what else is happening around the American Association on this Tuesday night. Adam Miller takes the fastball outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes on Miller. Here's a ball hit up the middle, and Robinson gets to it, throws to first, and got him at first base. Another nice play by Wade Robinson. Looks like that ball was headed into center field. Robinson behind the bag at second on the edge of the outfield grass. Throws out Miller, and there's 2 outs. top of the batting order, K.J. Hendricks. Had a double and an RBI in the second inning. Has also been safe on an error. Hendricks, left-handed hitter, against the right-hander, Daniel Welch. Hendricks leans back from a pitch up and in for ball one. I don't think I'm letting the cat out of the bag. We were told by the Fort Worth folks whether the American Association has released it or not. Blow it inside for ball two. Apparently the Wichita, Kansas City Council voted today to accept a team from the American Association into Wichita next year. Inside ball three. 3 leagues were trying to get in there. The City Council has voted to allow the American Association to put a team in Wichita, Kansas starting next year. They are losing their AA team out of the Texas League. Wichita is. 3-0 pitch. Right down the heart of the plate. Strike one. Wichita's AA team is moving to a new stadium in Springdale, Arkansas, just north of Fayetteville next year. Low ball 4, Hendricks walks. Second walk given up by Welch, but Hendricks at first base with 2 out for Terrence Green, who has singled and fly to right. So the American Association will have a little bit different look next year. Grand Prairie's already started construction on their stadium, Grand Prairie, Texas, between Arlington and Dallas. There goes Hendricks. Pitch is taken for a strike, throw to second high, and sliding in head first, stolen base number 4 for K.J. Hendricks. So Hendricks steals second. It's a strike on Green. No balls, 1 strike. So Hendricks at second base with 2 outs. Welch the stretch, and the slider misses down and away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So Grand Prairie, Texas will have a team in the American Association next year, and so will Wichita, Kansas. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, just missed off the plate. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike on Terrence Green. Runner at second is Hendricks with 2 outs. 4-0. Fort Worth leading here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The stretch by Welch. Ground ball up the middle again. Robinson near the bag at second, throws on to first, and the inning is over. That's all for Fort Worth here in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. They leave 1 after 4 complete. It's Fort Worth 4 and Shreveport nothing on AM 1130 KWKH.
The golf club is
Juan Ventura, Wade Robinson, and Austin Fry. Shreveport comes back home on Friday night against the Coastal Bend Aviators. 7:05 game time, and again fireworks after the game on Friday night, so you don't want to miss that. Big weekend series for the Shreveport Sports. Not many more times you'll have opportunities to watch the sports play this year as the season starting to wind down. Ventura grounded out to the pitcher in the 2nd inning. Leads it off here in the top of the 5th against the left-hander Mario Ramos. Swings and lifts a fly ball to right field. Adolfo coming in under it, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the 5th. 1 out in the top of the 5th inning for Wade Robinson. He has had 1 of the 2 hits. Gamble has had the other. So Robinson batting with 1 out here in the 5th inning for Shreveport. Sports trail it 4-0. Ramos, left-hander. Curveball that misses down low for ball 1. Ramos has made many stops in his career in minor league baseball, and as we said, 3 games in the big leagues. Down low, and it's 2-0. Last year played at Portland
in the Pacific Coast League, Mobile in the Southern League. Here's a line drive into center field, base hit. Robinson 2 for 2. Both times up, he has lined singles to center. 3 hits for the Sports. 1 out single by Robinson. When you look at the resume of Mario Ramos, makes his home in Pflugerville, Texas, which is just outside the Austin area. Played his college baseball at Rice. Spent a lot of time, at least early in his career, at Midland in the Texas League. Swinging a foul back by Pride, strike 1. Started out his career in 2000 at Modesto in the Cal League, then Midland, Sacramento in the Pacific Coast League, Oklahoma City, Pacific Coast League, back to Fresno, the Texas League, Oklahoma City again. Then he got a cup of coffee with the Texas Rangers in 03 and appeared in 3 games, had 3 starts, had a record of 1-1 with the Rangers. Traded back to Oakland since 04 and 05 at Sacramento in the Pacific Coast League, AAA. So he's had a varied career. 0-1 pitch. Pride takes a strike, ran the fastball down on the way. 6th-round draft pick of Oakland in 99. Spent all of his time either in Oakland or Texas and ended up in the Padres organization last year. Now with Fort Worth, pitches up and in, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Started out this year at AAA Sacramento, and then went to Midland from there, and then was released. Robinson is at first base with 1 out here in the 5th inning. 4-0, Fort Worth leading. Pride takes it up and in. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on left fielder Austin Pride, who walked in the 3rd inning. Really had a good at bat. Finally worked a walk. Ramos from the stretch. Looks over at first, 2-2 pitch. Down low, ball 3. And it's a full count at 3 balls, 2 strikes on Austin Pride. Ramos looks over at first again. Here's a ground ball, shortstop. Marizzi will step on the bag, go to first, double play, inning over. It'll go as a 6-3 double play. That is the 4th double play Fort Worth has turned in the series, their first tonight. In the 5th inning for Shreveport, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We are halfway through 4.5 innings. Fort Worth 4 and Shreveport nothing on AM 1130 KWKH. Well, Budweiser and the Shreveport Sports have joined together for some promotional ideas during the month of August, including Thirsty Saturdays. We'll have one of those this coming Saturday night. $1 draft beer every Saturday home game at Fairgrounds Field. Also, on Saturday, Camouflage Sports Camp Night. So when you're looking for a great time, great prices, join us at Fairgrounds Field for Shreveport Sports Baseball. And while at the game, enjoy an ice-cold Budweiser, Bud Light, or Bud Select. Mark Marizzi will lead it off for 4 runs, 5 hits for Fort Worth. They lead it 4-0. 1-0 pitch. This one's hit in the air towards center field. Burns coming in, still coming in. Now puts on the brakes, waiting under it, makes the catch. 1 out in the 5th. 1 out, bottom of the 5th inning for Carlos Adolfo. Adolfo, right-handed hitter. 1 out here in the 5th inning. Takes it down low for ball 1. One 0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Tonight is the 18th time these two teams have played this year. Shreveport has won 9 out of the 17 games. The 2-0 pitch. Low ball 3, and Welch is falling behind 3-0. Bert Snow gets the start tomorrow night in the finale of this
3-game series here with Fort Worth. 3-0 pitch. High ball 4, and Adolfo just walked on 4 pitches. Zecker makes that the 3rd walk given up by Welch. Puts Adolfo at first with 1 out for Kelly Gullich, who walked his last time up. He is also grounded to shortstop. Looking down at manager Stanhope, coaching at 3rd, going through some signs. Wayne Terwilliger's in the first base coaching box. Infield a double play depth with Adolfo at first, 1 out. Swing and a foul tip right into the mid of catcher Justin Humphreys. Strike 1. No balls, 1 strike on Kelly Gullich. Burns in center, shading Gullich slightly toward left center. Throw to first, chases Adolfo back. Adolfo has had 5 stolen bases this year in 11 attempts, so he's not hasn't been very successful percentage-wise, less than 50%. Humphreys out to the mound to talk with the right-hander, Daniel Welch. No balls, 1 strike on Gullich. The stretch by Welch. Long look. Now will come to the plate. This one's popped in the air. Right center field. Burns coming in. So is Schmidt. Schmidt on the run makes the catch. Throw back to first base, and Adolfo gets back. JP fired over to first base, thinking maybe Adolfo had wandered too far off the bag, but he got back. And Gullich is the 2nd out. 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning for Chuck Carter. Carter has singled, scored a run, safe on a fielder's choice with an RBI his last time up in the 3rd inning, 1 for 2 tonight. Right-handed inning first baseman. Welch turning and throwing over to first. Adolfo didn't have a very big lead. He just kind of stepped back to the bag. He wasn't that far off first base. Breaking pitch taken for a strike. Good breaking pitch by Welch. Gets ahead of Carter at no balls and 1 strike. We're playing in the bottom of the 5th inning here at LeGray Field in Fort Worth. Fort Worth leading 4-0. Stretch by Welch. And Carter looks at a fastball for a strike. Welch gets ahead of him at no balls, 2 strikes. Ventura playing deep behind the bag at 3rd, toward the line of it. Robinson at shortstop, shading toward the 3rd base hole. Joffrey on at 2nd, slightly toward the bag at 2nd. Pitch, down and away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Threw that breaking pitch down and away, hoping maybe that Carter would chase it, but he didn't. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Chuck Carter. Adolfo at first base, 2 out. There goes Adolfo. The pitch is grounded. Back to the mound. Welch will flip it on to Bryant for the out. The inning is over. They had Adolfo running on the pitch, and Carter bounces back to the pitcher for the final out here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. Through 5 complete. It's Fort Worth 4, Shreveport nothing on AM 1130 KWKH.
The golf club
For the 6th inning here at LeGray Field in Fort Worth, Shreveport will have the top of the batting order coming up. It'll be Burns, Joffrey and Gamble against the left-hander Mario Ramos. Well, the sports roughed him up pretty good at Fairgrounds Field, but he has been on top of his game tonight. He lasted only 4 innings just a couple of weeks ago in Shreveport in his first start. Gave up 13 hits and 10 runs. Tonight it's been a different story. He has shut the sports down on just 3 hits with no runs. As we go to the top of the 6th inning at Deacon Burns. 0-for-2 leads it off for Shreveport. Burns is grounded to 2nd. Then he was safe at first on a fielder's choice on an interference call on Austin Pride, who collided with the second baseman, Hendricks. Attempting to field a ground ball. Burns, first pitch, high fly ball to right field. Coming in on it, Adolfo makes the catch for the out. One pitch, one out for the sixth. One out here in the top of the sixth inning for Jack Joffrion. Joffrion is 0 for 2. Was robbed of a base hit in the third inning on a diving catch by center fielder Jordan Foster. Was called out on strikes in the first. He is 0 for 2. Well, Joffrion bats with one out here in the sixth inning. Left-hander Mario Ramos. Pitch is popped up, shallow center, going back Hendricks, second baseman. Now Moritzi, the shortstop, calls him off of it. And shallow center makes the catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs here in the sixth inning. So the protocol here would be for Gamble to take 1 pitch. You don't want that opposing pitcher to throw 3 pitches and get 3 outs. That makes it way too easy for him. Gamble is singled and flied to left. Of course, the pitcher knows that also, and most of the time they'll throw a fastball strike on the first pitch. Let's see if that's the case. Yep, right down the middle. Fastball, strike 1. No balls, 1 strike on Chad Gamble. Fastball, strike at the letters, and it's no balls, 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes on Chad Gamble, batting with 2 outs, nobody on here in the sixth inning. Now that will be out of play off the first base side. So it stays no balls, 2 strikes. Fort Worth got a run in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. They lead it 4-0 here in the top of the sixth. No balls, 2 strikes on Gamble. 0-2 pitch. Fouled straight back to the screen. So it stays no balls, 2 strikes. Forts have had only 3 base hits tonight, all singles, off the left-hander Mario Ramos. Oh, 2 pitch. Grounded towards third. Big hop, Terrence Green. On to first for the out. That's all for the Sports. Down in order here in the sixth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left after 5.5. It remains Fort Worth 4, Shreveport nothing. On AM 1130 KWKH. We go to the bottom of the sixth inning as Shreveport trailing in here 4-0. Fort Worth will have the bottom third of their batting order coming up. It'll be Jordan Foster, Alan Moy, and Adam Miller. Daniel Welch back to the mound to work here in the sixth inning. Foster is 0 for 2. His slide to right and line to short. Right-handed hitting center fielder, leading it off here in the bottom of the sixth inning for the Cats. Takes it a bit high, the fastball for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Jordan Foster. 1-0 pitch. It misses low, and it's 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Foul back to the screen, and it's 2-1. Sports have been out hit 5-3, trailing 4-0 here in the bottom of the sixth inning. 2 balls, 1 strike on Jordan Foster. Another foul straight back to the screen. That evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 7:05 game time tomorrow night for the final of this 3-game series, final game of the road trip. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, third base, behind the bag, and Ventura boots it. And it goes on into left field. Ball hit off Ventura's glove and scooted on into left field. That'll be the third error charged to Shreveport tonight. 2 against Ventura. And Alan Moy coming up. Moy has struck out twice. Broadcast tomorrow night starts at 6:55 with a pregame show right here on KWKH. Welch hasn't had a lot of help behind him. 3 errors have been committed. And he misses high with a fastball for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Alan Moy. Runner at first base, Foster, safe on an error, leading it off here in the 6th inning. Hit toward right field. Schmidt has it measured, waiting, and makes the catch for the first out. Moy is out number 1, and Foster back to first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning for Adam Miller. Miller has singled and driven in a run. He's also scored and has also grounded to short. He is 1 for 2. Miller, the designated hitter tonight for Fort Worth. Welch throws over to first, but Foster had a very short lead. He got back, no tag made. 1 out here in the 6th. Miller grounds one toward shortstop. Robinson will go to second. Out there, Joffrey back to first, and it gets off the glove of Bryant. I don't think they had him anyway. Wasn't really hit that hard. They get the force at second base on Foster. Second out of the inning. So Miller is at first on the fielder's choice, and now top of the batting order, K.J. Hendricks. Hendricks has been on base all 3 times tonight. Safe on an error. He is doubled. He is second out of the inning. So Miller is at first on the fielder's choice, and now top of the batting order, K.J. Hendricks. Hendricks has been on base all 3 times tonight. Safe on an error. He is doubled. He is walked, and he is driven in a run. Officially 1 for 2. Left-handed hitter against the right-hander, Daniel Welch. With a runner at first, Miller 2 out. And Hendricks just got hit by a pitch. He'll head on down to first base. Got hit, looked like on the right elbow on a pitch in tight. So Hendricks goes to first. That pushes Miller to second base. Two out for Terrence Green. Green batting with 2 out. Runners at first and second. Takes a strike of the letters. Green has had a single, fly to right, bounce to short. In his 3 at-bats, he's also scored a run. Runners first and second with 2 out here in the bottom of the 6th for Fort Worth. Welch, the stretch, and now backs off the rubber as Miller getting a pretty good lead at second base. No activity in the Shreveport bullpen with 2 out here in the 6th. No balls, 1 strike on Green. Started a swing, but checked it in time on the appeal. First base umpire Cale Smith said he did not go. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Welch will come to the plate. Down low and outside, and now it's 2 balls, 1 strike on Terrence Green. Green batting with 2 out here in the 6th inning for Fort Worth. Cats have runners first and second, and the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball off the left side. Ventura fields, will go to second to Joffrey on. There's the force on Hendricks, and the inning is over. So for Fort Worth here in the 6th inning, no runs, no hits. There was an error in the inning. And 2 runners left stranded after 6 complete. It's Fort Worth 4, Shreveport nothing on AM 1130 KWKH. Well, our totals through 6 innings. Fort Worth, 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Shreveport, no runs, 3 hits, and 3 errors. Here at the top of the 7th inning, it'll be the middle third of the batting order for Shreveport. J.P. Schmidt, Justin Humphreys, and Tommy Bryant. Remember, the Sports are at home on Friday night against Coastal Bend. 7:05 game time. Also, Friday night, we'll have fireworks after the game at Fairgrounds Field, brought to you by your local Dodge dealer. J.P. Schmidt hitless tonight. Struck out, grounded out. Takes a strike on the inside corner. J.P. with a 14-game hitting streak on the line. Leading it off here in the 7th. Ramos kicks and delivers. Strike 2. And it's no balls, 2 strikes. So Ramos gets ahead of J.P. Schmidt at no balls and 2 strikes. Started him off with a breaking pitch on the inside corner. Came back with a fastball away. And the 0-2 pitch. Curveball, but it stayed high and missed outside, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Mario Ramos in his 2nd start for the Fort Worth Cats. The 1-2 pitch. This was foul. That went over the roof of the third base grandstand out of the ballpark. And it stays a ball and 2 strikes. Fort Worth got out to an early lead. They scored a run in the first, 2 more in the second, and 1 in the third. Leading it 4-0 at the top of the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch. Curveball down and away. Off speed breaking pitch that time. Tried to nibble on an outside corner, maybe trying to get Smith to chase it, but he didn't, and it's even at 2-2. Big gap for Schmidt in right center field. The 2-2 pitch, fastball, swung on and lifted toward left center field. And it's the center fielder, Foster, over to make the catch. 1 out here in the 7th. One out top of the 7th inning for Justin Humphreys. Humphreys has struck out swinging, fly to center field. He's 0 for 2. Sports have had only 3 base hits off Mario Ramos, and all 3 have been singles. So they haven't been able to do much with the left-hander. Humphreys takes the fastball right down the heart of the plate, strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Fastball again, but this one's up and in. And it's a ball and a strike. Tommy Bryant on deck. 1-1 pitch from Ramos. And this one's hit to left field. Back on it goes the left fielder, Moy. At the warning track, it's gone. Humphreys with a home run. His 11th of the year to get the Sports on the board. Justin Humphreys just hit one out of here in left field. Looked like a changeup. And Humphreys stayed back on it and rode it over the left field fence. A solo home run that cuts the Fort Worth lead to 4-1. Humphreys with his 11th home run of the year, and RBI number 51. And this will bring up Tommy Bryant. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Bryant has flied to center and popped up to second tonight. Fouls this one straight back onto the screen. So Ramos ahead of Bryant at no balls and 2 strikes, with the Sports break into the scoring column with a 1-out solo home run by Humphreys here in the 7th inning. Bryant hits it to right field. On the run is Adolfo toward the line and makes the grab for the out. 2 out here in the 7th. Two out, top of the 7th inning. for Juan Ventura. Ventura is 0 for 2. Has bounced out to the pitcher, and he's flied to right field. With 2 out here in the 7th, stays off a pitch that stayed high and outside for ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Ventura low and inside with a breaking pitch, and it's 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Wade Robinson due up next with 2 out here in the 7th. 2-0 delivery. High, ball 3. And it's 3-0. Three balls and no strikes. And home run the second that Ramos has given up this season. A strike. Ventura taking all the way. And it's 3-1. Looked like Ramos took a little bit off that pitch and got it over. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Out onto the screen. Now it's a full count at 3-2. Fort Worth leading 4-1 here in the top of the 7th inning. Sports getting on the board here in the 7th on a home run from Justin Humphries. The 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, base hit left field by the diving Terrence Green. So Ventura hit one sharply past the diving Green at third. But Ventura at first base brings up Wade Robinson. Robinson has had a couple of hits tonight. Both line drives to center field, and it appears they're starting to move around down in the bullpen for Fort Worth now with 2 outs. Ventura at first base. Fastball strike. No balls, 1 strike on Wade Robinson. Ventura about a 2.5 step lead at first. Pitches high for a ball, and it's 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Fastball strike on the outside corner, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And we'll have to check on the number there because here's a line shot up into the seats, third base side. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. We have a number 23 on the roster. Checks between innings, see who it is for Fort Worth. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Robinson. And he hits one toward left field coming in. Left fielder will not be able to make the catch. 1 hop in front of Moy. Robinson gets his third infield. Up to the second base. And Austin Pride coming to the plate. Pride has hit into a double play and walked tonight. Now meeting at the mound as Gullidge, the catcher, out to talk with Mario Ramos. So back-to-back singles by Ventura and Robinson, with Austin Pride coming up, brings the tying run to the plate with 2 out here in the 7th inning. Dan Hilton, pitching coach for Fort Worth, making a trip out to the mound. Sports are at home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Fairgrounds Field. A short homestand of 3 games against Coastal Bend. Friday night will be fireworks after the game. Camouflage Sports cap giveaway by Budweiser on Saturday night. So the meeting at the mound is over, and Dan Hilton heads back to the first base dugout. And Austin Pride coming up. Ventura is at second base. Robinson at first with 2 out here in the 7th inning. Sports trailing 4-1. Ramos out of the stretch. Misses low for ball 1. 1 ball to no strikes.
Ventura trying to get a walking lead at second base. Robinson at first. 1-0 pitch. Here's a ball hit to left field. Pretty well hit. This ball is up, and it is gone. A 3-run home run for Austin Pride has tied it here in the 7th inning. Pride has just tied it with a 3-run home run over the left field fence. Scoring Ventura, and Robinson ahead of him. Austin Pride with his 2nd home run of the year. A 3-run home run has tied it here in the top of the 7th inning. And the batter will be Deacon Burns. With 2 outs. Burns hitless tonight in 3 at-bats. Takes it down and away for ball 1. And the Sports trailing 4-0 going into this 7th inning. Have scored 4 to tie it. Burns lays off a pitch down and away for ball 2. Humphreys with a solo home run here in the 7th, and now Pride with a 3-run home run that has tied it. Outside, ball 3. Now it's 3-0, Burns. Here's the 3-0 pitch from Ramos. A strike. Burns taking all the way. Three balls, 1 strike on Deacon Burns. With 2 out here in the top of the 7th inning, Shreveport has tied it at 4-4. The 3-1 pitch. Outside, Burns is walked. Second walk given up by Ramos. That puts Burns at first base, and it'll bring up Jack Joffrion. It also brings Stan Huff out of the Fort Worth dugout, and that's going to be all for Ramos. They've already signaled to the bullpen as we'll get a break in the action with a pitching change here in the top of the 7th inning. As Shreveport has tied it at 4-4 back in 90 seconds after these pitching change messages on AM 1130 KWKH.
This is the taste of it.
New pitcher for Fort Worth is going to be right-hander Tim Vasquez. So Vasquez will come on here in the 7th inning. Appearing in only his 2nd game. First time to face Shreveport. No wins, 1 loss, and a .450 earned run average. He's pitched just 2 innings. He's given up 2 hits, 1 run. He has struck out 2, walked 2. So Mario Ramos, the starter tonight for Fort Worth, went 6 2/3 innings. 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Is responsible for the runner at first. Walked 2, struck out 3. Let's pause here. 10-second station identification. This is where you can hear Shreveport Sports Baseball.
KWKH Shreveport. For the latest sports scores from your favorite team, go to KWKHonline.com.
Dave Ditz at LaGray Field in Fort Worth, Texas on this Tuesday night. Jack Joffrion will be coming to the plate. And it was 2 out here in the 7th inning for the Burns. The Bulls have scored 4 times to tie it in the 2nd. Tim Vasquez on relief here in the 7th inning with 2 out. Right-handers and a strike on the slider. Vasquez started out the season at St. Joe. Makes his home in Flagstaff, Arizona. No balls, 1 strike on Joffrion. Burns going, and a pitch fouled back. A little hit and run. Burns running on the play, and Joffrion fouled it back to the screen. Vasquez made his debut with Fort Worth on Friday. Went 2 innings at Pensacola. Was acquired last week in a trade with St. Joe. Was 1-2 with 4 saves and 34 relief appearances for the Black Snakes, his first year of professional baseball. No balls, 2 strikes on Joffrion. Fouling it off again behind or back to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes on Jack Jofrion. Sports have tied it with 4 runs here in the top of the 7th inning. Burns with a walk, and final batter that Mario Ramos faced. As shortstop Moritzi will make the catch for the final out here in the 7th inning. So Vasquez comes in and gets the final out here in the 7th, but not before the Shreveport Sports have tied it up. 4 runs in the inning, including 2 home runs. There were 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Shreveport 4, Fort Worth 4 on AM 1130 KWKH. It's going to be Grant Wilson will come on in relief here in the 7th inning. So Daniel Welch goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, with 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a hit batter. So Grant Wilson will come on in relief here in the 7th inning for Daniel Welch. After the Sports tied it up in the top of the 7th inning, will get a no decision tonight. Wilson is appearing in his 28th game, his 27th in relief. 2 wins, 1 loss, and a .410 earned run average. Against Fort Worth this year, Wilson has appeared 5 times, worked a total of 5 innings, given up 4 hits, no runs, with 4 strikeouts and 2 walks. Wilson's last appearance was against Pensacola on July the 30th, which was last Monday, with 3 2/3 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks. They'll make it 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 1 run. It was unearned. So Grant Wilson, a right-hander, comes on in relief for the Sports here at the bottom of the 7th inning with our game tied at 4-4. Pensacola defeated Coastal Bend tonight 6-2 in the first game of a doubleheader at Coastal Bend. Mark Moritzi will lead it off for Fort Worth. As we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, Moritzi, Adolfo, and Gullich. And a strike to the left-handed hitting Moritzi. Sioux City leading Lincoln 7-2 there in the top of the 6th inning. Sioux Falls 3-0 over St. Joe, top of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th, El Paso shutting out St. Paul 2-0. That gets you up to date on other scores. Here's a ground ball, but foul off the third base side, hit it right off the end of the bat. And it's no balls, 2 strikes on Moritzi. It was doubled in 3 at-bats, has also grounded to second and fly to center. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Our game tied 4-4. Fouling it back to the screen, and it remains no balls, 2 strikes. So Grant Wilson in relief for the Sports here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Starter Daniel Welch goes 6 innings with a no decision tonight. No balls, 2 strikes. And a foul. That one caught the mask of Justin Humphries and ricocheted all the way back to the screen. And it stays no balls, 2 strikes. 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 errors for Shreveport. Fort Worth 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. No balls, 2 strikes. Foul. That one will drift out of play up into the seats down the left field line. So Moritzi fouling off some pitches here with no balls, 2 strikes. 4,740 is tonight's attendance here at Fort Worth on this Tuesday night. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a line drive foul down the first base line to the right of the bag, down into the Fort Worth bullpen. So both starting pitchers will get a no decision tonight. Welch for Shreveport, Ramos
for Fort Worth. Up to the bullpens now. 0-2 pitch. Ground ball toward first base. Bryant will flip it to Wilson, covering for the out. 3-1 on the putout. One out here in the bottom of the 7th inning for Carlos Adolfo. Adolfo has been on base twice tonight. He was safe on an error by Ventura in the first inning, which scored a run. Walked in the 5th. He's also grounded out to short, so he's 0 for 2 officially. Right-handed hitter. And takes it down low from Grant Wilson for ball 1. Just joining us, we're in the bottom of the 7th inning here at LaGray Field in Fort Worth. 4-4 game. Pitch is outside and low, and it's 2-0. Two balls, no strikes on Adolfo. Low, ball 3. Now Wilson has fallen behind. 3 balls, no strikes. From the windup, 3-0 pitch. In there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Tomorrow night, the final game of this 3-game series, 7:05 game time. Broadcast tomorrow night starts at 6:55 with a pregame. Hit toward right field. Smith drifting back and now to his left a bit, and makes the catch for the second out. Two out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kelly Gullich, 0 for 2 tonight. He has walked. He has flied to right and grounded to short. Now Justin Humphries, the catcher, will call time and go out to the mound to talk with Grant Wilson. Wilson, who played his high school baseball at Ouachita High School in Monroe, went on and finished up his college career at Louisiana College down in Pineville. First year of pro ball. Fastball over but low for ball 1 to Gullich. Down low again, and it's 2-0. Fort's getting a couple of home runs in the top of the 7th inning. A solo shot by Humphries. Here's a pitch hit in the air, right center field. Smith drifting over, and the inning is over. 1-2-3. Fort Worth down in order here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Our score after 7 complete. Shreveport 4, Fort Worth 4 on AM 1130 KWKA. Shreveport starting his warm-up tosses. Chad Gamble will lead it off for Shreveport. What's the discussion is about? Bob Glory was talking with a home plate umpire, Mike O'Leary, and now he's going up to talk to the third base umpire, Thomas Newsom, about something, and I have no idea what it was all about. But it stopped action here for a little bit. Chad Gamble will lead it off for Shreveport here in the 8th. Gamble has had a base hit in 3 at-bats. He has also flied to left and grounded to third. So Gamble leading it off here in the 8th inning with our game tied at 4-4. Vasquez came on in the 7th inning and got the final out. Gamble takes the fastball high for ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes on Chad Gamble. Outfield around to the left and deep to the right-handed hitter. Good breaking pitch, strike. And it's 1-1. Chad Gamble kind of bending at the knees on a curveball. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Chad Gamble. Pensacola has beaten Coastal Bend in the first game of a doubleheader. That's our first final in tonight. 1-1 pitch. Foul tip right at the plate. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Gamble, Schmidt, and Humphries. here in the top of the 8th inning. Brand new ball game, tied at 4-4. Forts have played some close ones here of late. Last 10 games, Shreveport has played 8 one-run games. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Down and away with a slider, and it evens it up at 2-2. Vasquez is making his second appearance with Fort Worth. Picked up in a trade with St. Joe just a week or so ago. 2-2 pitch. Popped up. Will there be room? First baseman Carter coming over in front of the Fort Worth dugout. Makes the catch. Out number 1. One out here in the top of the 8th inning for J.P. Schmidt. Schmidt hitless tonight. Slide to center, grounded to second, and struck out swinging. So he's facing Vasquez for the first time. Mario Ramos, the left-hander, started tonight for Fort Worth. Went 6 2/3 innings. Schmidt takes the fastball for a strike. No balls, 1 strike on J.P. Schmidt. Even though Schmidt's a left-handed hitter, they play him the opposite way in the outfield. Give him a lot of room in right center. With the 0-1 pitch. Lines it and caught by the shortstop, Moritzi, drifting back into the outfield. Little humpback line drive, and there's 2 out here in the 8th. Two out, top of the 8th inning for Justin Humphreys, who got the Sports on the board in the 7th inning with a 1-out solo home run, his 11th of the year. Humphreys has also flied to center and struck out swinging tonight. 1 for 3. Lines one, caught by Hendricks, the second baseman. Took it right off the top of the shoes for the final out here in the 8th inning, and the Sports are down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning after 7.5. It's Shreveport 4, Fort Worth 4 on AM 1130 KWKH.
Gilpatrick's Rosemead Funeral Home and Cemetery.
Money back. The lead seller for your group gets to throw out the first pitch, and your group will be presented a check during the game. For fundraising information, contact the sports office at 636-5555.
Well, it's the bottom of the 8th inning, but some discussions have been taking place between innings. Bob Glory had gone to the home plate umpire. Home plate umpire Mike O'Leary talked to the third base umpire Thomas Newsom, and then all 3 umpires gathered up down the first base line. And now all 3 umpires are talking to Bob Flory just to the left of home plate. I have no idea what this entails or what they're talking about. Okay, Sports are going to play this game under protest. The Sports are playing this game under protest. Now, what the protest is about, I have no idea, but that was the signal made by the home plate umpire, Mike O'Leary. So the game is being played under protest as we're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Home plate umpire gave us that signal. PA announcer is supposed to announce it, but he hasn't as yet. Chuck Carter will lead it off for Fort Worth here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And he lines one into left center field, a base hit. Carter's going to take the big turn and hold at first for the leadoff single. We'll see if we can get an explanation. David Hampton, the media relations here for the Fort Worth Cats. Hey.
Foster coming up. Foster is 0 for 3, was safe on an error his last time up. Carter at first, and a pitch into the dirt for a ball. Blocked by Humphreys. And it's 1 ball to no strikes. Game tied at 4-4 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Infield for Shreveport, a double play depth. Quick throw to first. Wilson chasing Carter back to the bag. Carter with his second hit of the night with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 8th. One ball, no strikes. Ground ball toward shortstop. Robinson to Jeffrey on. Back to first. Double play. 6-4-3 on the double play. That's the first double play the Sports have turned in this series. So now there's 2 out with nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Alan Moy coming up. Moy is 0 for 3, has struck out twice and fly to right field. Grant Wilson in his second inning of relief. This is low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes on Alan Moy. Low again, and it's 2-0. Grant Wilson came on in the 7th inning in relief of starter Daniel Welch. 2 balls, no strikes on Moy. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Fouled. Out of play. Out of the ballpark off the right side. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike. We're at the bottom of the 8th inning here at LaGray Field in Fort Worth. Game tied at 4-4. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Down low and outside, and now Wilson has fallen behind 3-1. 2 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball toward shortstop. Robinson on to first for the final out here in the 8th inning, and that's all for Fort Worth. No runs. They get a hit. No errors and nobody left. We have completed 8 innings in Fort Worth. Shreveport 4, Fort Worth 4 on AM 1130 KWKH.
This is the taste of a tropical.
Now, top of the 9th inning, we are tied at 4-4. Tommy Bryant will lead it off for the Sports against the right-hander Tim Vasquez. And Bryant looks at a breaking pitch, a strike. Bryant is 0 for 3 tonight. Slide to center, pop to second, and fly to right. Bryant, Ventura, and Robinson here in the top of the 9th inning. The 1-1 pitch. Ground ball over the mound toward shortstop. Big hop, Maritzi. On to first for the out. 1 out here in the 9th. One out here in the top of the 9th inning for Juan Ventura. Ventura has had a base hit tonight. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Has fly to right and bounced to the pitcher in his other 2 at-bats. 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. 4-4 game. Ground ball, diving stop. Green gets to his feet, throws to first. Got him at first base. Nice play by Terrence Green. Diving to his left, got to his feet, and throws out Ventura. 2 out in the 9th for Wade Robinson, who is 3 for 3 with a run scored. 3 base hits, 3 singles. That's with 2 out and nobody on here in the top of the 9th inning. Ground ball up the middle, but Maritzi knocked it down. Will throw to first, but not in time. Maritzi had to end up all the way in left center field. Got to his feet, threw to first, but Robinson beats it out. We'll see how they rule that will be a hit. That is 4 hits tonight for Wade Robinson. So the Sports have a runner at first base. That's 8 hits for Shreveport. Robinson
with his 4th hit of the game. He's at first with 2 outs for Austin Pride, who tied this game in his last at-bat with a 3-run home run, his 2nd of the year. No balls, 2 strikes on Pride. Breaking pitch, strike 3 call. Pride called out on strikes for the final out of the top of the 9th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Our score, it's Shreveport 4, Fort Worth 4 on AM 1130 KWKH.
This is the taste of it.
Change for the Shreveport Sports. Brian Cooksey will come into the game to play 3rd base in place of Juan Ventura. Grant Wilson back to the mound to work here in the 9th inning with our game tied at 4-4. We were asking Wilson peers right over the top of his glove, gets the sign and the pitch just outside for a ball, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball slowly hit toward shortstop. Robinson on to first for the out, and we are headed to extra inning as Green grounds out to Robinson at short. Here in the bottom of the 9th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. As we go to the 10th after 9 complete in Fort Worth, Shreveport 4, Fort Worth 4 on AM 1130 KWKH. Well, we go to the 10th inning. The Sports playing their 12th extra inning game of the year. Shreveport 5 and 6 in extra inning games. Fort Worth, they're playing their 19th extra inning game. They are 5 and 13 in extra inning games. Deacon Burns to lead it off here in the 10th inning. Tim Vasquez back to the mound for Fort Worth. Takes it high and outside for ball 1. Deacon Burns is 0 for 3 with a walk tonight. Leads it off here in the top of the 10th inning with our game tied at 4-4. A strike on the outside corner. Shreveport and Fort Worth have played some extra inning games already this year. First one was played here at Fort Worth on June the 1st. Fort Worth won that one 6-5 in 12 innings. Sports won a 10-inning game at Fairgrounds Field against Fort Worth. Here's a line drive, base hit right field. So Burns leads it off here in the top of the 10th with a single to right. Deacon Burns gets his first hit of the night. That's the 9th hit for Shreveport. Also played an extra inning game with Fort Worth that the Sports won. First game of the doubleheader on June the 24th. And a 10-inning game the Sports lost. We played four extra inning games against. There goes Burns. The pitch is taken low. The throw down to second. The ball actually hit Burns as he slides in safely with a stolen base. So Burns steals second. His 22nd stolen base of the year. So the Sports get the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 10th inning. It's no balls and 1 strike on Jack Jofrion. Now the catcher Gulledge out to the mound to talk with Vasquez. In the meantime, Bob Flory talking with Jofrion up the third baseline. He had shown bunt on that first pitch. No balls and 1 strike on Jack Jofrion with Burns at second base, nobody out. The stretch and bunted off the third base side. Terrence Green will throw to first. Hendricks covering for the out. The sacrifice successful, moving Burns over to third. So Joe Freon gets the sacrifice bunt down. It'll go 5-4 with Hendricks, the second baseman, covering. For the first out here in the top of the 10th inning, and the batter, Chad Gamble. So Gamble coming up. He has had 1 hit and 4 at bats. Let's see how Fort Worth is going to play it. Will they walk Gamble or no? They're going to pitch to him, but they'll bring their infield in. With 1 out and Burns at third base. Vasquez from the stretch and a pitch. Swing and a miss. Gamble trying to get a little lift on one, trying to at least get a fly ball deep enough to get Burns in from third. No balls and 1 strike on Gamble. We are tied at 4-4 here in the 10th. Vasquez the stretch. This one's hit high in the air to left field. Back on it, Moy tagging Burns. Catch is made. Here comes Burns to the plate. He will score, and the Sports have taken the lead 5-4 on the sacrifice fly by Chad Gamble. He got it deep enough to left field. Of course, Burns can run pretty good, too. 4 tonight stands at the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Well, the Sports playing National League Baseball, I guess you would call it. Burns led off with a single, stole second, over to third on a sacrifice bunt by Joe Freon, and scored on a sacrifice fly by Gamble. 0-1 pitch. Ground ball chopped off the right side. First baseman Carter will flip it to the pitcher covering. Got it. Inning over. It'll be 3-1 on the foot out. With Vasquez covering the bag, the Sports have taken the lead for the first time tonight here in the top of the 10th. 1 run, 1 hit. No errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Shreveport 5, Fort Worth 4 on AM 1130 KWKH. Folks, now to work here in the bottom of the 10th inning. He'll have to face the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for Fort Worth. It'll be Maritzi, Adolfo, and Gullich. Well, the Sports have scrambled back in this one. Trailed at 4-0 after 3. Tied it with 4 runs in the 7th. And have taken the lead in the top of the 10th inning. Maritzi has doubled in 4 at-bats, leads it off here in the bottom of the 10th. And looks at a strike from the right-hander, Grant Wilson. Wilson in relief of starter Daniel Welch. And it's hit toward left center field. Slicing away, Burns on the run. Pride is there. Pride will make the catch. That boy, Wynn just kept taking it toward Pride in left field, and Pride made the catch for the first out. 1 out in the bottom of the 10th inning for Carlos Adolfo. Adolfo is 0 for 3. He walked in the 5th inning. Last time up, fly to right. Right-handed hitting right fielder for Fort Worth. Here's a ball hit the shortstop. Right-hand Robinson on to Bryant. Then there's 2 out here in the bottom of the 10th inning. 2 out in the bottom of the 10th for Kelly Gullich. Popped up. Geoffrey on, second baseman, calling for it. Sports win it. As Gullich pops up the second, and a great comeback by the Sports tonight in the bottom of the 10th inning. The final score, it's Shreveport 5, Fort Worth 4. Totals and highlights at 90 seconds on AM 1130 KWKA. Game of this final score in 10 innings. Shreveport 5, Fort Worth 4. I'm Dave Ness, bidding you a very pleasant good evening from LaGray Field in Fort Worth, Texas. Good night, everybody.